Hello, everybody. This is Nick Blessing. I'm the secretary of the Kansas Green Party, and I'm just making a quick video to talk about um, kind of do's and don'ts or basics of how to collect petition signatures in Kansas. And specifically, this is the petition to get Jill Stein on the ballot as an independent candidate for president, Kansas independent nomination petition. And this is something that's hard to do, especially if you've never done it before. But really, it can be fun. It can be a really good experience. Things can be really interesting. First of all, if you're new to this, I recommend that you go out with another person. It is possible to do it alone, and it is, in a sense, it's ideal that every single person who's volunteering is off on their own, because if we spread people out more, have two people petitioning in two different places instead of petitioning in the same place, potentially we can cover more ground and collect more signatures. But there's also another thing that you have to consider is your personal morale, and having somebody with you can really boost your confidence and really boost your ability to keep going for a longer period of time. And typically myself, if I'm out petitioning, I'm probably doing it for an hour or two. I don't think I usually do it for more than 2 hours. But basically, what you're going to do is you're going to want to go somewhere, most likely outside, in public, on a public sidewalk, ideally. Um, Downtowns are really great. A lot of people like to go to Walmart parking lots or parking lots of other larger stores. Um, you may want to ask permission to do that, although some people swear that Walmart is the best place to collect signatures. I've also heard of people going to post offices and waiting out there, and just engaging people as they go in and out. But basically, what I prefer personally is you're going to want to be moving. You're going to want to be walking up and down a sidewalk in a public place where there's a good amount of foot traffic. And basically, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to have multiple of these forms. This is the form that's available on Jill Stein's campaign website. If you look to the ballot access map and you go to Kansas, you can download this form. You're going to want to have many copies of this, and you're going to want to have multiple clipboards, or even better is if you put them all into a binder and organize them by county. Because here's the thing: this little space here, county of blank, that's blank on the petition form for a reason, because you have to fill that in. And there are 12 spaces for signatures to be added here. And the thing about this form is, every person who signs one form, they have to be from the same county. You can't have voters from different counties on the same form. And there's a reason for that. That's because when we turn these in, we turn them into the Secretary of State. And basically, my understanding is the process is first the Secretary of State checks them over, and then they will make sure that it looks like there's enough, and then they will actually distribute the individual pages to each county and have the county election offices verify the signatures and the information of the voters who voted, to make sure that, yes, this is somebody who is registered to vote in this county. And so that's why they can't have voters from different counties on the same page, because they're not going to send the same page to multiple counties. And I don't think they make, as far as I know, they don't make copies of these or anything. They just deal with the originals. So what you have to do is, first of all, just as a practical matter, you're going to have a buddy with you. You're going to be supporting each other, and you're going to be pumping each other up, because you need to be high energy for this. Um, you need to be in good spirits, and there's no reason not to be in good spirits, because you are participating in a democratic process. This is a way to get Jill Stein on the ballot. If you really care about this campaign, or if you care about left politics and want to have, for instance, someone on the ballot in every state, or someone on the ballot in Kansas who, for instance, is not in support of a genocide on the other side of the world, i.e., Gaza, um, that's Jill Stein. We want to have a candidate on the ballot. So, there's no reason to be shy about the fact that we want to get Jill Stein on the ballot, because we care about this campaign. We believe in the message of this campaign, first of all. But you're going to be out there with your buddy, and you're going to go up and down the sidewalk, or hang out wherever it is that you are. And as you approach people, or people come by you, you're going to say, "Excuse me, 1 minute of your time. Are you a registered voter in Kansas?" Or you can ask them, "Are you a resident of Kansas?" Um, and if they say yes, you're going to say, "Okay, well, are you registered to vote in Kansas?" Or if they'd already said that they're registered to vote in Kansas, you're going to immediately say, "What county?" "Oh, great." Or like, "Oh, great, you're registered to vote in Kansas. What county?" And they'll tell you, for instance, Douglas County. And you say, "Oh, great." Put this right in their face, basically. You're going to put it, well, I mean, not right in their face, but you're going to put it in front of them, and you're going to say, "Oh, great. So I need to get your signature real quick. This is a petition that we are circulating to get Jill Stein on the ballot for another choice for president in the state of Kansas." And they might ask you some questions about Jill Stein. They might they may be not sure. Now, one thing that I have seen, and this is important about what I'm saying here, with trying to really get to the point, with them, and being like, once you know which county they're registered to vote in, and if you can get that the page that you have for that county right in front of them immediately, it's going to way increase the likelihood that they're going to sign. It's going to increase it so much, because it's already just right there. I've had some experience with this being a little bit more passive, and it's like, you can still get people to sign, but I found that people aren't too sure. Like, you're some person with a clipboard, they're not really sure what you're doing. But if you put it right in front of them immediately, I think it's much more likely. But I mean, that's pretty much it. Now, I'll just note the fields here. So there's the place for them to sign. There is, and the where they print their name, and this is their street address where they are registered to vote, and the name of the city where they're registered to vote, and the date. And one thing, you just want to make sure that they're putting the right informations in each field. One thing you're going to find is that on the signature field and the name printing field, sometimes they'll print their name in the signature field and sign in the name printing field. Just try to make sure that they don't do that, and just try to nip that in the bud by just pointing that sign in this box right here. Tell them which box to sign in, and then ask them to please print your name as legibly as you can, and please print your address as legibly as you can, so that the Secretary of State will count their signature as going toward our total. That's really important. Sometimes people, they're writing really fast and they've got terrible handwriting. Just need to try to minimize that obstacle as much as you can. And the other thing about this is, this form and the set of forms that you're collecting, you hold on to those. We are going to be we have to turn these in on August 5th, which means that we need to really bring them together the weekend before that, which is like the first weekend of August. End of July, very beginning of August, we've got to bring these together. For right now, this is the only form that you have to deal with. There is also the affidavit form that you will use, that you will sign in front of a notary. You will bring that form and with all the petitions that you've collected, and you will sign that in front of a notary. Now, if you are in my area, which is in Kansas City, Lawrence area, I'm a notary myself. If you and I are ever able to meet up, I can notarize your affidavit for you. And if you don't have somewhere else you can go. Now, you can go, probably your bank probably has a notary. You can also probably go to the post office. Also, I believe places like UPS stores, and maybe like FedEx, I believe, have notaries. It's not too hard to find a notary. If you can't find one though, it might be I'll be able to do it. But my larger point is, you do not give your petition forms to anybody, and nobody else is going to notarize an affidavit regarding your petition forms. Because the thing is, your petition forms, these are the signatures that you witnessed, and you have to sign an affidavit to verify that those signatures were collected by you. You do not give the forms to somebody else. You would be surprised what I've heard of people doing in the past with petition processes. They are your signatures, and you giving them to somebody else would jeopardize our petition drive. You have to hold on to them. Then you notarize. You get them notarized, and then you give them to me, and I will be turning them in to the Secretary of State's office. But that's not until end of July. We've got a long ways to go. We have started the process. We need to get more volunteers, so we're really happy that you are joining this petition drive. If you are able to collect 10 to 20 signatures every week, you are doing what we need you to do. And that's something like probably 1 to 2 hours of your time once a week. So what I recommend everybody do is probably on a weekend, somewhere where there's a lot of foot traffic, go out and you're going to talk to some strangers, and you are going to just set aside an hour or two of your time and collect some signatures, because we need to be consistently collecting. Now, another big thing is we are going to have lots of large gathering events throughout the state between now and our deadline. Those are really good opportunities. Things like festivals, county fairs, those are really good opportunities to collect a lot of signatures. So in addition to setting a little bit of time aside every week, on certain weeks, you may want to make sure that you go to one of these large events. And we're going to try to coordinate with everybody and let people know where we're going to be collecting signatures. I'm sure that probably doesn't cover everything, but to make this video a little bit shorter, and I'm coming up on 15 minutes, I'll leave it at that. You can contact me at nickb.ks@gmail.com, or excuse me, nickb.ksgreenparty@gmail.com. My information is on Jill Stein's ballot access map page. If you click on Kansas, if you have any other questions, please ask me. Please reach out. And please do as much as you can to help us with this petition drive. Thanks.